Good morning. Hi, everyone. My name is Menachem Creditor, and I serve as Scholar in Residence for UJ Federation of New York. And every weekday morning, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock in the morning, we are blessed and privileged to come to you and share some words of Torah, a little bit of music, some community, and a way to start the day together. And so it's good to have you here this Monday morning. In case you weren't aware, it's Monday. And if you're in New York, though there are many people around the world who are now starting to connect to us this way, the weather is just gorgeous. And I hope that you are somewhere near some sunshine. It's the right way to begin a day. So to Kim, Debbie, Stacy, Lori, Amy, Susan, Stephen, Jeffrey, oh my God, this is amazing to see all of you here. I hope you had a good Shabbat, and I hope Sunday felt like Sunday. And I hope that you're going to have a good day today. So let's start it together. Pam, Barry, David. Oh my God. If only we did this before we had to do this. Maybe we can find a way when this is all behind us. Please God, may that be soon. Maybe we can find a way to do this then. What a gift it is to start the day together. How happier I feel now that you're here. So, let's sing a little Torah. Nice to see a brother and sister in Texas and New York connecting here on our Facebook page. Who knew this was the kind of world we could inhabit and create together? Just this week, if you can imagine it, my wife and I performed in South Africa, and in a week we're going to be performing in Boston and also in Florida, and all of that from home. Somehow, the connectivity that this technology offers in a moment that demands it has created a world that is smaller and more intimate and more connected, so that you can wish each other a good morning and we could see each other and share some purpose. So I'm glad to start the week with a little bit of Torah with all of you. I'm just looking at your faces and your names and the fact that we are wishing each other so purely a good day. Can you imagine, we'll get to Torah in a second, can you imagine if when there was no need, none of this dire circumstance, you imagine instead of waiting online for coffee somewhere or rushing to a commute, you might be online for coffee and commuting to work, but can you imagine if the train that you're commuting on, or the sidewalk that you're stepping onto, or the subway that you're about to board, were full of people whose first reaction to seeing a crowd was joy and relief? Can you just imagine that? Can you imagine the world that we could create given all of the learning that we are doing right now? So many people are writing about how the world will change, or the world must change. So let's start very, very small, the only way that change really begins, which is within. What is the way that you plan on experiencing the world, gifting the world with your presence? What's the way that we can respond to each other with joy, with simple joy, just to be together once this is done? Let's think about that. You can respond with your thoughts if you'd like, but for now, let's just be in that meditative, contemplative place together. This week we read the Parsha, the Torah portion Emor, which there's a joke I might have told a few days ago, but it's worth saying again. In yeshiva, when I was in yeshiva, we would have a joke about 2 weeks ago the Torah portion, 1 week ago, and then this week. In sequence, the order of the Parshiot, the Torah portions, is Acharei Mot Kadoshim Emor, right? After the death, Kadoshim holy, Emor say. The joke is Acharei Kadoshim Emor. After we deal with death, then call people holy. That's unfortunately how we typically see life. We tell people how much we appreciate them only after we've lost them. But I think that we're learning really, really important lessons about not waiting. And so the first lesson, the first piece of Torah that I wanted to share was, if there is something that you've been waiting to share with someone you love, or some peace you wish to achieve with someone in your life, this is the moment to call that person. Even if you think they should call first, maybe it's the moment where we call first. Forgiving each other more quickly. It's not unemotional to say it even at 9:07 on a Monday morning. Forgiving each other more quickly is really urgent and important. So let's make sure that we don't wait. We can even forgive landscapers who somehow show up right outside our window when we're going Facebook Live with the community. Welcome to the real world, where the broadcasting studio is also your bedroom. So the other piece of Torah that I wanted to share today is this. In Parshat Emor, and we'll talk more about this tomorrow morning, in Parshat Emor we have the list of the holidays, at least the biblical ones, from Pesach, Passover, to Shavuot, which is coming up in a few weeks, to Sukkot, and there is a cycle here of sort of entering into the Passover mode, which is from degradation to joy, to freedom. But then from freedom to Shavuot, we count 7 weeks and we get to a place where we receive Torah. And then from Torah, we keep on going on that traveling through the desert, and we build huts, we build Sukkot. And each year we go through it again, which means that freedom itself is incomplete even when it happens. It's a process that pulls us forward. That Torah is something that we continue to receive as we continue our journeys through whatever 40-year desert you find yourself in. And when you achieve that promised land, it all begins again. It means that freedom isn't an episode. Freedom doesn't happen. Freedom happens. And so in this moment, what I'd love us to think about is, when we have finally achieved freedom from this moment, what's the next step of freedom that we want to take together? What's the way that we can do good for people together? There is no question, if you've been paying attention to the work that we do as UJA Federation, New York, in the world, that we do not consider freedom and any of our work to be accomplished, not ever, even when we succeed at our tasks. We are in this for the long haul, which means until there's no need. And friends, we are pretty sure, I'm pretty sure, there will always be a need, which means in the end that redemption is a process. It is always in demand. And so may we see ourselves as strong enough, may we take care of ourselves so that we can be strong enough to help extend freedom forward into the world. This is a beautiful sharing by Bob Schloss. I'm just going to read it for everybody. Thank you, Bob. Yesterday we walked into Teatown Lake Nature Center with young friends. We saw 1-inch long infant turtle. We stayed 6 feet apart. What a beautiful way to experience nature, to experience the world. All right, let's be blessed. Let's go forward into today with a little bit more joy, a whole lot more sunlight, a little bit more tolerance, and a determination that freedom can be extended through what we do. What I haven't shared is that 59 years ago today, John Lewis stepped onto a bus. He's a freedom rider, right? So we've got work to do. Let's commit to that work right now and sing our way into the day. And sing. It's good to do. Ya la 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 la, diddy ya la la la, diddy ya la 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 la, ay ya la la la. Ya la 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 la, diddy ya la la la, diddy ya la 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 la, ay ya la la la. All right, bless you everybody. Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock.